welcome back to my Lowlife Podcast. As always, this is Henry. This is episode 2, and today I'm going to be joined with special guest Jared Wellness.
Hello, I'm here.
So first, I want Jared to tell a little bit about himself.
I guess I'm Henry's best friend, kind of.
Yeah, kind of.
I'm obsessed with automobiles, and that's about all there is to me.
Yeah, it doesn't get much more in depth than automobiles and hockey.
Automobiles.
Automobiles.
Cars.
Cars.
Not the Pixar movie.
That is a good movie, though.
I do like that movie. Yeah.
Second one wasn't as good. Third one was pretty good.
It was. The second one was okay.
So
I haven't seen the third one.
You need to see it. It's so good. So it ties back to the first one, and it explains a lot of the things. And
don't spoil it.
It's so good. It's so good. So I want to start off the podcast with talking about how Jared and I first started to get to know each other. That was back in middle school.
I don't know how we met.
Well, I don't remember how we met. Probably we just had a class together.
You showed up one day.
But you just hated me.
You were like a stork baby. You showed up one day. I absolutely hated you. And then I guess after a while, I had Stockholm syndrome, and eventually started to like you.
It started off because it was in 8th grade, I think it was, or 7th grade. I honestly can't remember.
It was probably. Are you talking about when I first met you, or when I started to actually like?
When you started to actually like.
That was probably towards the end of 7th grade.
Okay, because we had this one speaker that came in. His name was Stu Cage. I think it was Stu Cage, and he had this workshop for leaders and stuff. And Jared and I just both happened to be in the workshop, and there was this one thing where we had to we got these little strings, and we had to go around and compliment each other or say stuff we admire, and Jared gave me one and said, "I'm okay if you start playing Minecraft with me." It wasn't really a compliment, it was just I guess you can play Minecraft with me on my server.
If you won't go away, you may as well have fun while doing it.
And then that was the story.
That's the start of the beautiful
friendship
flower that we have.
The flower it's
a little bit burnt on the edges,
and it was able to grow through sand, but
hit by radiation. It doesn't quite look right.
It was stepped on at least 3 dinosaurs at one point.
Yeah.
Jared and I actually tried to do some kind of commentary thing at one point. That was almost like a podcast.
Yeah. My little iRacing thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was okay-ish.
You want to
kind of
describe because for the longest time I didn't even know what iRacing was, even when you talked about it.
iRacing is just like a racing simulator thing. It's called a simulator, but I guess it's a game.
It looks a lot like a game.
Well, that's because it's built off a game engine from 2002. So, but it's just that's the biggest racing simulator out there, and people use it, and I use it. And I won a race once and was so proud of it that I had Henry come over and commentate over it with me.
Yeah, we were like the announcers, and we ended up just getting sidetracked with a bunch of stuff.
Editing that was hell, because for some reason there was 2 minutes missing from the audio file.
Really?
Yeah. Couldn't tell, could you? Because I spent 3 hours trying to figure out how to make it work.
I think you told me about that, but I don't know how that happened. The setup was actually a lot like this, where we just had a microphone in front of us, and then we were just recording on Audacity. But didn't you spend 3 years trying to put the little counter with the?
Well, 3 years is a bit of an exaggeration, but it took a very long time.
Because so he had a lap counter. So
it didn't even look good either. It was just Arial font.
It was yellow with a black border, and
if it was a caution.
And he did it for 90, 100 laps.
I think the race was 50 laps.
Was it?
Yeah, but I had to keep switching for when there was a caution or when a bunch of stuff happened. It was dumb.
Did anybody catch on fire?
No, nobody caught on fire. Or just orange smoke. That didn't happen either.
One of Jared and my favorite. You wouldn't even call it an inside joke, would you? I mean, it's for us because not many people know about it.
Not many people that we know about it.
Jared had an old channel that the name will still be
Anonymous.
I like going through and watching it every once in a while.
Don't look for it.
But he did this one. It was
NASCAR Thunder 2004. I was doing the Daytona 500 on the day of like the 2014 Daytona 500. No, 2013 I think. And I was just driving along in like dead last because I sucked and was playing with the keyboard. And a dude just comes flying down the track, billowing out orange smoke that was supposed to be fire. And my prepubescent self just goes, "Oh my God, he's on fire!"
But it was.
I'm
like,
sorry, I just deafened you.
Oh my God, the waveforms are huge. But this was one when Jared, before Jared hit puberty and actually got a voice.
What are you talking about? You're making fun of my voice.
But it was also. But it was also the entire thing. It was the crappy music that they had dubbed over the.
Oh yeah, because I thought it would be too boring without any sort of music over it.
But that, like, all you heard was this crappy background music for the entire time, and then there's something happening. Oh my God, he's on fire!
Oh my God, he's on fire! I was like in the middle of a sentence and just
he cut off completely, and oh my God, that was so.
I spun out from it too.
Yeah, you did. A lot of our inside jokes come from a video because we also have the calculators one.
Oh, I love the headphones calculator thing.
I'm gonna be putting in clips, audio clips of what like the jokes we're talking about, so you'll actually hear him say, "Oh my God, he's on fire."
It's called "Take That Flood." I hope you have it downloaded.
I'm gonna do that afterward.
Okay.
But yeah, here's the joke of our inside joke with the calculator right now.
Show your workings.
Show your workings. Fucking hell.
Show your workings.
Bane of my life.
Oh Christ! I just knew the answer.
I'm gonna pick up some water around it, see if it fills up.
Show your workings. No, I've smuggled a calculator in, alright?
Oh, listen, fuck off. I use the things, the technology I'll use outside in real world.
Yeah, in real world, I'll have calculator.
Don't make me use my brain.
What do you mean? What if I've run out of batteries? It runs on the fucking sun.
This one's solar
I will be able to
powered.
do this maths until the sun fucking goes away. And if the sun goes away, me not being able to do maths is a pretty fucking small problem, isn't it?
Very small problem.
Fucking hell.
Oh God, I'll find us, somewhere safe to sleep and eat.
Fuck. Maths, advanced maths is the least of our fucking problems.
If I've run out of sun, we're all dead.
We are fucked.
We're fucking dead.
What do you think about this?
See the night time or we're dead.
God.
Oh, that's like a long thing though.
It's fine though.
Okay, hold on. Don't put the clip in there. Instead, if you're listening to this, pause this and listen to. It's called "Take That Flood" from Hat Films. It's on like. What is it? The Hat Pack, I think, something like that. I don't know. Anyway.
He's saying that, but I'm just gonna put it in anyway.
Don't put it in because it's like 5 minutes long.
No, but it's just the joke part, and that's like it's like 30 seconds.
Okay.
Basically, what it is the guy's like talking about doing basic math, and
Show your work. No. I've smuggled in a calculator.
And then he's like, was it the calculator runs on the fucking sun?
What do you mean it's out of batteries? It runs on the fucking sun. If I were out of sun, doing advanced maths is the least of my fucking problems.
Yeah, if the sun goes out, then a YouTuber that plays Minecraft doing basic math calculations is the least of our problems for sure. But for the literally every time I went to Jared's house and we used to sit there and watch videos, that was always the first video we watched. It felt like we just watched it so many times.
Probably.
It's one of the funniest jokes I've ever heard. I don't even know why I find it that funny. Oh yeah, there's another joke that with us. Like whenever we walk in the halls, we'll just hit each other. Like we'll like body like.
Oh, I don't know if we do that much anymore. In middle school, definitely, yeah.
No, like early high school, we did that too. But one day we were walking to class. It was me, you, and Patrick.
Yeah.
And we were just hit.
I was knocking teeth out.
We were knocking each other back and forth. And then Jared like hits me a little too hard, and I lose balance, and I hit Patrick, and Patrick goes flying, and his teeth hit the little
He rams his face into the door frame.
Yeah, I think it would when you push open a door, how it has that little Like that's like at the midway point. How
No,
you push
it was on the
Was it a door frame?
the right side of the door frame.
Oh, well, basically he hit it and he had braces in at the moment, and he was
Just about to get him taken out.
It was like a week left, and because he hit it, he had to wait like an extra 2 or 3 months.
Yeah.
We felt so bad.
Oh my God.
And then when we got to class, he went to the like it was in the library, and there's a bathroom in the library. He went to the bathroom, and we just went to class and just sat there.
And they were like, "Where's Patrick?"
And then we're like, "Oh, he's in the bathroom." And then they're like, "Why?" He's like, "Something to do with his teeth." And he comes out. He's like, "Yeah, I was bleeding." They're like, "You were bleeding, and no one came to help you." We got in so much trouble. Now every time we're walking and we're hitting each other, like, wait, watch out for the door frame.
Especially if Patrick is around.
Especially if Patrick's around.
Okay, that's revenge when he ran into me in like 3rd grade. It made me fall straight backwards.
Did he?
Yeah, we were playing like kickball or something, and I was standing at home, because I was the next kicker. I was just past home if you were running from 3rd base, and he ran from 3rd base, was too busy looking out in the outfield, didn't see that I was standing there, just smacked into me, and I fell like straight backwards like a tree falling, and smacked my head on the ground super hard.
I didn't know this. There was only...
The teacher was like, "Patrick, what the hell?"
There was one time I remember we were playing wiffle ball, and Ben Brands was up to bat, and he takes the hardest swing he could, and that wiffle ball goes flying. And we had a sub that day, and it hit her right in the calf,
Oh.
like super hard. And she was like a light tan sort of thing, and you just see this outline of this circle with like polka
Dots on it.
just embedded in her leg for the rest of the day. And he didn't get in trouble, but man, she was like, ah.
Speaking of dumb stuff during gym, I told you the story about in like 5th grade where we were playing. What was it? I think it was just regular wiffle ball or kickball or something. And basically, so if you've ever been in a high school gym, at least in America, I don't know if other places are like this. There's the mats behind every basketball hoop, and so we would use those as bases. So there were like 5 or 6 bases for some reason.
No, it would usually still be 4. It's just they were spread out very unevenly.
I think it was you went to first, and then you went to the next one, and then you had to cross the gym.
Yeah,
to third, and then there was a 4th base, and then home plate.
Yeah, that's what it was.
But going to 4th base, I guess, I had been there for like 10 seconds before the ball hit the mat to try and get me out, and the substitute we had was like, "You're out," and I was like, "What? I've been here for like 10 seconds," and everybody on both teams were like, "He's been stood there," and she was like, "No, you're out." And my 5th grade self, who was taller than the substitute, I was like, "I'm safe. I've been here for 10 seconds." Nope, I was out. I guess I don't get to tell the truth.
Yeah, you're really bad with telling the truth.
Fucking millennials.
I remember one time it was 8th grade. We were playing soccer in the gym, and me being me, I will run around as much as I can.
And the second the ball comes towards you, you just kick it as hard as you can. In the opposite direction.
I do that, and it's so much fun. But one day we were playing, and I think it was playing against Olivia. Remember, one of our friends that moved to Texas, Olivia. We were playing, and she rammed into me and like threw me to the floor on complete accident.
You got full on body check?
I did, because I had the ball and she wanted it. But then I fall and I'm like, okay, whatever. I get back in and I start running. About 5 minutes later, I'm like,
don't tell me the same thing happened.
No. Actually, she body checked someone else, and they were like kind of dizzy. It was pretty funny. But I was like, why does my leg feel weird? I feel like a weird pain in my leg, and I had not looked at my leg yet. I looked down, and there was this cut, like about 1/3 of the way, or 2/3 of the way up my shin, and it's just bleeding all the way down.
Oh.
And
why did nobody notice that?
I don't know why I didn't notice that, but I just looked down, and I'm just like, oh, I'm bleeding. And I walked over to the coach, and I'm like, hey, coach, can I go to the locker? I'm bleeding.
I'm kind of like bleeding out right here.
And he's like, yeah, sure. And so I just run over, because my pain tolerance is really high. I did, both of us are in marching band, and in marching band there's something called color guard, where it's the people with the flags that you'll usually see. But there's a winter guard, which is It's just
It's like color guard, but without the marching band.
Yeah, it's just color guard, and it's in a gym, and you're doing like a performance. But I took I did one season of that. We didn't actually perform anything. We were just like going in depth on the different techniques and stuff.
You didn't actually do any.
No,
Wow.
The school never funded us,
Ah.
so we weren't able to. But we had great ideas. But for me, whenever I would throw the flag, first of all, no matter what, I always caught the flag with one hand usually when you're supposed to catch it with two. But also, it would hit me so many times, but I wouldn't say ow until I heard the sound. So it's this 6-foot metal pole that's flying in the air, and it hit me in the shoulder and the arm and the leg, and I won't feel it, but I'll hear it and I'll say ow afterward. And one day I was twirling it, and I tossed it in the air, and I didn't catch it for once, and it hit the ground, and it like launched back in my face. Like the end of it was like a centimeter or like 2 centimeters off my face, like just flew past me. I didn't even react because I didn't realize it was there. And the instructor was Caleb's older sister.
Yeah.
I've never seen her afraid in her life. She was scared that I was actually gonna hit myself. Like she looked at me, she's like, "Henry, what just happened?" I'm like, "What do you mean?" And I'm like, because I didn't realize it. And she's like, "That was hitting you in the face." Like, "Oh, did it?"
Those poles are concussion machines.
They are. Anybody that like if the guard is doing like flips or twirls or something, anybody in the band would walk through and they would probably get hit. If I walked through, I wouldn't get hit. But I never am able to walk through because then people would actually follow and get hurt. Because people follow me for some reason. I don't understand why. They're like, "Oh, Henry's doing something stupid. Let's do it too."
Wow, you see, stupidity follows stupidity.
It's true. But whenever I'm stupid, I'm smart about it. Like, if I'm gonna go do something stupid, I at least know what I'm doing. Like most of the time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like there's very few times that I do something stupid that I actually am like not sure what's going on. Or
wow, that was dumb. You never maybe.
Not as
maybe
often.
You're just really dumb, but you don't know that you're really dumb.
I'm smart, I swear.
Yeah.
So besides having marching band together, we also have humor and writing together. And that class, that's a trip at the moment.
You could say that, yeah. It's kind of annoying.
What?
Because your constant witty comments, it's annoying.
But you laugh at them.
No, I laugh at the embarrassment.
Basically, it's a. So far, all it has been is our teacher telling us
storytelling.
Yeah, it's been our teacher telling us like a bunch of funny stories, and I'm sitting there like dying the entire class, and I'll make these like small comments, and only Jared will hear them, and he's just like, oh.
Believe me, I'm not the only one that hears them. It's just everybody else ignores them.
But yeah, I'm not really good at writing.
I don't know how you're supposed to be humorous but then formal with the way that you're writing.
Yeah, I'm kind of confused with that sort of thing, but I think it'll work out in the end.
Oh well.
No, one of my favorite things, I don't know why, is just to see Jared laugh. Jared laughing is like one of my favorite things in the world. I don't know why. It's just like, it's just, you don't...
It sounds so creepy when you say it. I love watching Jared laugh.
But it's true, like, whenever something happens, like, I'll try to make Jared laugh because I just find so much enjoyment in listening to you laugh. I don't understand it.
I don't know. I think you're just a freak.
I am just a freak. I remember one of the things I used to say all the time, is like I would always be like, "Oh shit!" And Jared found that that's what it was, right? That's what you found really funny?
I think it was like you said it in a super sarcastic way, and it was just like, "Oh shit," and for some reason it killed me.
Yeah, every time it said it always got Jared, but Jared always had something.
I have something that kills you too.
He has something. I don't know why. Is it no please or is it please no?
It's no please. I don't. You gotta give me a situation where I can say it.
Oh god. Hey Jared, can I tickle you?
No, please. For some reason it kills him. I don't know why, but it does.
Every every time. Literally, there's very few things that'll get me every time. Usually, for most of the stuff, it's just the fact that I'm not expecting it, and it's just like the first time it's ever happened. But every time it kills me. So Jared got me into liking cars.
Did I?
Yeah.
Did I really?
You did. Like every time it's secondhand car excitement. Like every time I see a cool car or I see a cool Chevy or something like that, I'll be like, Jared would love to look at this. Jared would love. And it's like every time I see a car, I just get excited because I know it's something you get excited about. I don't know, but it's got to the point where I'll actually go around and look at nice cars. And it's cool.
I mean, cars are America's greatest gift to the world, I think. People say that it's jazz. Nope, it's the
jazz
automobile.
is a great gift.
No, it's not our greatest gift, though. Our greatest gift to the world
is fat people.
Was Henry Ford, Horace and John Dodge, Louis Chevrolet and William Durant, and then whoever the hell founded Chrysler. Because I don't know who founded Chrysler. Even though Louis Chevrolet was French, but doesn't matter.
Yeah, Jared has brought me along on many a car rides and many a car shows. Like we've gone to the St. Louis Auto Show 3 times.
3 times in a row, something now.
3 times now, I think.
I don't know. Is it January yet?
What?
Is it January yet?
What do you mean?
Is it January yet?
No.
It's August.
It is August.
It needs to be January. Oh God, January.
Yeah, I actually really enjoy the auto show. It's a lot of fun. You get to see a lot of cool cars.
It's weird. It's like a zoo for cars.
It is. And then there's the hot chicks that stand by the cars and pretend like they know stuff.
The booth girls. Yeah, those are always really funny.
Because it's great because some of them will know more than the dude about it, and that's really funny to watch. And then other ones will just be like,
You'll be like, so what engine does this car have in it? And she'll be like,
a big one.
A Toyota motor. It's like, ma'am, this is a Volkswagen. She's like, a Dodge motor. It's like, no, that's not right.
Another thing that he's brought me along is Cars and Coffee.
Oh yeah, Cars and Coffee is cool. I don't know when or where they got started. All I know is I
met the guy that started it.
The St. Louis one, but
the St. Louis guy.
It's not like a St. Louis thing. I don't know where it came from, but 2 years ago, suddenly every Saturday, or every third Saturday of the month, people would just go to a big parking lot, buy some sort of coffee shop, and just park their cars super early in the morning.
And it would go for between 7 and 12 or something.
I think ours is from 8 to 11 now. They added an hour to it.
It's in the morning. Usually people don't actually have coffee, but it's just a way for everybody to come together, show off their car, talk about their car,
and it's not
look at cars.
Usually it's not a bunch of Lamborghinis and Ferraris and stuff showing up like that you would see at a professional car show. But it's you can tell they're cars that are driven and babied by people, but not kept in a garage and never move ever.
There'll be the line of Mustang. Is it Mustangs that?
Yeah, they all got banned now. There was a massive group of Mustang owners. I guess there's a St. Louis Mustang club that came to one, and they took up 2 rows of the giant parking lot. Yeah,
2 rows.
2 of them almost.
Wow.
And then after we had left, when it was over, they were all doing burnouts out of the parking lot, and it pissed the place that hosts it off, and it pissed the Cars and Coffee group off.
Yeah.
So all of them aren't allowed back anymore.
I remember one time, so I drive a 1983 S10, a Chevy S10.
You drive a 1983 Chevrolet S10 Durango,
and
with the cute little V6 in it.
And then Logan, Jared's older brother, used to drive
He drove a 2002.
I thought it was a 1.
S10. No, because we've only ever had cars that are even years for some reason.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, he drove a 2002 S10, and for some reason we parked them next to each other once at Cars and Coffee,
But we parked.
People were like actually coming up to him.
But we parked far away, so like the crowd, like the.
Yeah, like the general rule is like if you're driving like a regular car and just going there to look, you park like super far away.
Like
but so many cars had showed up.
Yeah, there was 2 sides of the parking lot. There was one side for the fancy ones and one side for the regular.
The like just people that are going there.
And we were parked right in the middle ish, and people were like standing around, just walking around, just looking at the cars.
I remember one dude actually walked up and went, "Oh look, a first gen S10," and I was like, "What? It's just a truck." I mean, it's not even okay. Like first gen S10s and Blazers and stuff are cool, right? But Henry, yours is kind of clapped out, whatever.
But for its age and the fact that it has no miles on it,
I don't know. It's from the 80s, which is only 30 years ago.
34 years old, I think it is. 35, something like that.
Well, probably 35 because it was probably built in 82.
True.
But the fact that people were coming up there and actually like appreciating the two generations of S10 was really weird to me.
It was pretty funny because Logan, Jared, and I were like standing like one row over, just watching people do it.
Yeah, it was weird. Nobody took pictures of them though.
No. Why would you take pictures of them?
Mm-hmm.
I don't even know why we took pictures of them. I've took so many photos of.
You gotta be proud of what you drive.
That's true. We talked a while in cars.
I drive a 2004 Grand Am, which is just a shitty little economy car, and I love it to death.
You didn't for a while.
No, I still don't like it, but I love it to death.
What?
I love it to death, but I hate it.
Oh, you want to talk? So, if you watch my YouTube videos, one of the videos I uploaded was Jared's spoiler.
Oh yeah, the clickbait. Jared's spoiler flew off title. It didn't fly off. I didn't keep the joke going for very long. I could have kept it going for so much longer, but you were genuinely so like, you're like, what? And I was like, okay, I better just tell him. And didn't fly off. I took it off because the clear coat was starting to peel. And then after a while of it just sitting there with tape over... Okay, the weird... GM isn't very smart, or used to not be very smart about how they did things. And the trunk lid for my car... You eating right now?
I'm about to eat a taco.
You better like look that way while I keep explaining my car.
Yeah, you do that.
So, the way that the trunk lid works, there's just 4 gaping holes in the top.
By gaping, he means like small screw-sized holes, not actually...
okay, they're like a centimeter across each. Which, in the grand scope of a car, those are gaping holes. And they just go directly into the trunk, so I can't leave them uncovered this whole time. So I gotta put like packing tape over it. So finally, today, probably like 3 months later, I finally went to a junkyard. 2 months later. Finally went to a junkyard, found another Grand Am in the exact color as mine. Ripped off the spoiler, which was, oh my god, that took unbelievably long. Apparently, General Motors cares more about their adhesive than they do their paint, because it took forever for me and my brother to figure out how to get that off. First of all, we brought the wrong size sockets.
Really?
Yeah, we had Imperial units, and we needed metric, but we eventually found a way that we could get it, and then after that, it was about getting it unstuck from the trunk lid. And the seals that GM used are the strongest adhesive I've ever seen in my life. My brother, my brother's a pretty beefy guy, right?
Yeah, he's a big dude.
He wrapped both hands on either side of the supports for the spoiler and was pulling up with all his force, and the trunk was the metal, hinge for the trunk was bending before the spoiler would lift off.
What?
Yeah. Like we were lifting the whole back of the car up almost before the spoiler would let off. Oh my god, I'm just going to crinkle everything?
Yeah, why not?
And we eventually went over to this 2011 Impala that had been wrecked, took off a chassis brace that was just like a big round tube, stuck it under it, and I was jumping and putting all my weight down on this, and it still wouldn't go. So my brother did it, and it finally went and got the front of the spoiler to lift off, and then we just both grabbed it and pulled it, and it came right off. That took like half an hour to figure out how to do this. It was ridiculous.
And then you brought it home.
And then I brought it home.
Wait, how much was it?
It was $20.
Okay.
So way cheaper than getting my old spoiler repainted, and I don't think my old spoiler was factory, because it didn't have any of the stampings that this one has, and it seems like it's lighter. It's weird. But I got it all cleaned up, got all the old adhesive crap off of there, covered it with silicone, got it all screwed back on, and now it's just drying before I can cut off the extra silicone. It looks great.
Yeah, I was working this morning, so I was just watching Jared's story. It was like seeing that, like, the progression, but it's finally on.
It's 2 pictures.
Yeah.
It's a spoiler.
Was it? No, I thought it was 3.
No, it's a spoiler sitting on the ground and then a spoiler attached to my car.
Oh, because what was the caption you put?
Hype, and then on the second one I put hype times 2.
Yeah. So you know how Jared said that the spoiler flew off about 2 months ago? Well, I just went to my YouTube channel.
Uploaded June 20th. Look at that.
It was uploaded June 20th, and today is August 20th. And I think I edited it. I think I uploaded it like the day after.
The next day?
Yeah.
Boom, look at that. 2 months. It took me 2 months to figure out to just go to a junkyard and get one instead of trying to repaint mine.
Oh, what about what were you trying to get when we went to AutoZone for my truck?
Oh, the window track wheel.
Yeah. So I was driving back from, like, I was hanging out with my friends, on a Friday night. We went to the science center for a school thing, like it was a school astronomy night. And when we were driving back, I go to drop them off, and as after I drop them off, I'm going home, and I'm rolling down my window because I actually have to roll it down, and I just hear a, and it
was probably like a it falling down and hitting the bottom of the door.
But basically it, like, the window fell off the hinge.
It fell off its track,
and I'm like, oh shit. So I text Jared, and I'm like, Jared, my window's not rolling up. And he's like, what happened? Like, I think it fell off the hinge or whatever it's called. And basically, so I go to work the next day, go all the way through work, and one of my coworkers is like, Henry, is your window open? And I'm like, yeah. Like, why? I'm like, because it's not there.
Because it's not there.
But then I went to Jared's afterward, and
we got it all fixed up.
We were fixing it up, but as we were taking it off as Jared and his dad were taking off the panel, he snapped all the little things that held the panels on.
Oh, the clips or things, the push clips, whatever the hell they're called.
Yeah, they're like giant, like small corkscrews. It was weird.
Yeah.
But we had to go buy new ones of that.
And we needed the window track wheel.
Yeah. We needed a new wheel.
It just sort of rolls along the bottom of the window as the arm raises up, and it actually raises and lowers the window. But his was gone, and it just sort of fell off the side of it.
Yeah, it was like so rusted out that like it just crumbled.
Well, it was made of plastic, so
But
your truck is so old, the plastic disintegrated.
Yeah.
It's probably from slamming your door so often.
Yeah, that probably doesn't help.
But yeah, went to AutoZone.
We went to one AutoZone.
They didn't have it.
Well, they didn't have the little clips that held the door panel on.
No, they had a package of those.
They had. Oh, okay.
But they didn't have the wheel.
Was it really? I
Yeah.
thought it was the other way around.
Mm-mm.
But anyway, we had to go to another AutoZone, and this was the most frustrating place I have ever been to with Jared.
I have never been more annoyed while buying something ever. It took us probably 15 minutes for anybody to ask us what we needed. And then once we told them, the dude was like, oh, okay, I'll go grab that. 20 minutes passed by, still hasn't grabbed it. Somebody else goes, hey, what do you need? And we're like, we sent that dude to go get a part 20 minutes ago, and he's not back yet. And the person was like, oh, okay, I'll go get that. And like 10 minutes went by, and then they finally came back and gave it to me. And then they left and didn't let me buy it.
The time is a little more exaggerated than what it really was, but it so felt like that. But basically, they're like, "Here you go," and then walked away.
Yeah, they didn't bother like checking us out. We could have left. We could have left.
We actually went back to the first AutoZone, the one that said you're gonna have to go to this one, but watch out. We all hate them. It's a bad AutoZone. And when we went back, like, we could have walked out, and they literally said you should have walked out. It would have been funny for us. It was like a $4 thing, so it really didn't matter too much. But yeah, that was one of the weirdest experiences I've ever had with you.
It was so frustrating.
Another weird experience. There was a weird experience that I had because of Jared, but it wasn't with Jared. I went to Jared's house one day, and they're like they had just made dinner or something like that, and they didn't have enough for me, so they said, okay, just go to Taco Bell.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm like, okay, that's fine. So I go to Taco Bell, and I this was when I ordered the 11, which is 3 Doritos tacos and a drink.
Mm-hmm.
Now I always order whatever the big box is, because those are really...
Is that what you're eating right now?
Yeah, that's what I'm eating right now. But it was 3 Doritos tacos. So I walk up, and there's this Indian guy in front of me. I'm not trying to be racist, but that's exactly who he was.
Well, yeah.
And he was talking with his accent, and he was telling this lady behind the counter, or it was more like a high schooler, and she was like, it looked like it was the end of her shift, and she didn't give a shit about what this guy was saying, and he was telling her his life story and how he's like the most important dude in the world, and all he ordered was like a drink and a nacho. Like not even a nacho, like
just the chips and
just
cheese.
the chips and cheese, and so afterward, like she finally gets him to go, and I go up, order, and I say, can I have number 11? She's like, okay, pay it, and I go and wait. About 5 minutes later, they're like, okay, here you are, here, order for Henry. So I take it, I go back into my truck, I look inside of it, like, this is not the order 11. What the lady thought I said was the order 7. So I walk back inside.
Critical mistake.
And I'm like, excuse me, this is the number 7. I ordered the number 11. Can I have the number 11?
No.
They're just like, okay, yeah, sorry about that, fine, whatever. So they make it, and when they get the order ready for the dude that was in front of me, the chick has to bring it over to him because he wasn't gonna get it up for himself. Like that was one of the things he told her, was like, you have to bring the order to me, and usually you walk up there and get your order.
Yeah, they shout out your name
and so she walks it over, and she's standing there with the tray, handing it to him, and the guy's just sitting there on his phone for probably at least 30 seconds without even looking at her.
He didn't even look up?
No, finally he set his phone
down. At
down.
that point, I would have just like thrown the tray on the table and been like, here you go.
But yeah, then she walked back, and so after I get my actual meal, so now I have a number 7 and a number 11. I go back outside, and I'm about to, I get my truck, I put my stuff in there, and I'm about to start my truck, and then I hear, I kid you not, that was the thing I heard. So me being me, I'm like, what's happening? And like I looked around, and then I hear another one, and I'm just like, what is happening? I'm in the parking lot, like in the middle of like it was still bright daylight out. Like the sun had not even started.
Yeah, this was like,
it was like
probably 5 o'clock.
Yeah, but it was during the summer too, so it was still really bright out. And then I hear a help, and I'm like, what is happening? So and I look over, and I see this lady like hanging outside. Like she opened the passenger door of whatever car she was driving, or whatever car her husband was driving, and was just hanging onto the door, and like leaning out, and just making these moans, and just saying help over and over and over again. And I'm sitting there like, what is happening? And the dude behind the wheel is just sitting there looking dead forward with a blank expression. Like he does not care at all. And I'm like, what is happening? Finally, like, I have to leave here now or something else is going to happen. But so I leave, go back to Jared's, and they're like, what took you so long? And I'm like, hold up, I got a story to tell you.
Tell it again.
No, I'm not telling that again. That was a long story, and I hate telling it, but it's so funny. Another thing I want to talk about is, so Jared and I, like, pretty much every shirt you see us wear is the same style of shirt. All Jared's shirts are pretty much car shirts, and then all my shirts are from Loot Crate.
Yeah.
And like,
well, I mean, they're called graphic tees.
Yeah, but except for your Levi's one, every single one of them is a car shirt.
Well, I have there's
like,
soda ones and the various Levi's ones I have.
You do wear your Mountain Dew one. What about talk about your jokes on your car, on your t-shirts?
Oh, the Blip Shift shirts? Yeah, there's this cool website called Blip Shift. And basically what they do, they just they come up with shirt designs and then they sell them for like 2 days at a time. And they're usually either like really cool drawings of famous cars or like jokes about the name of cars. Like one of my favorite ones, there's a really famous rally car from the 1980s called an Audi Quattro. If you're any sort of racing fan, you've probably heard of this car before. I'm sure you'd know it if you saw it. And they have a shirt that says Uno Dos Tres and then has a picture of a flying Audi Quattro. So it just basically says 1, 2, 3, 4. And everybody looks at it, and I guess they just think, oh, 1, 2, 3, and then like go. Yeah. But then if you actually know what the car's called, you're like, oh yeah, I get that.
Yeah, Jared explained it to me and then showed me the shirt. Then there's the in case of emergency.
Oh yeah, in case of emergency, and then it has a picture of a Porsche 911 or 911, I guess.
And it says call
dial for emergency or something.
Yeah. What's the Las Vegas one?
Oh, the Viva Las, and then it has a picture of a Chevy Vega, so it says Viva Las Vega. It's all stuff like that. Yeah. It's great. Blipshift.com.
Yeah.
Free advertising.
But yeah, that's a lot of what Jared. And then for me, all my shirts that I wear came from Loot Crate, because for like, I would say about a year, I like was getting Loot Crates. And of course, the 1 month that I didn't get Loot Crate, it was the one where they had a T-shirt from Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them, and then they had an action figure, or they had like a little action figure of Doctor Strange, and those are two things that I really wanted, and I didn't get it. Instead, I got those crappy Halloween stuff with you.
Oh yeah.
But then also, for Jared was back in middle school. Everything he wore felt like DC.
Yeah, I was a little bit obsessed with DC in
a little bit
in middle school, because that was right around the time where like being like a skater dude kind of made its resurgence. But I didn't skateboard, and I still can't. I just liked being a poser, I guess. So
he had DC shoes.
DC shoes.
He had his famous DC jacket.
I had a blue DC jacket
with white leather.
And it had like a white splatter of DC on like the bottom right corner. And then I had DC hats and stuff. And I was just obsessed. And I still wear DC shoes.
He's wearing them now.
I'm wearing them now. I love them. They're the Spartan Highs. They're great. I have not gotten a different pair of shoes.
And Jared loved his outfit of the blue jacket. Like, he wore this blue jacket every single day.
Every day. I still have it.
You do?
I do.
Wow. that would bring back some memories. But he
doesn't fit though, because it's only a medium.
Wow. That's so crazy.
I wear an XL now.
It felt like not that long ago that you were wearing it.
No.
But his Minecraft character was him with that jacket on.
With I would always wear black jeans too, because I was a cool kid.
I don't know how you could wear black jeans.
I don't wear black jeans anymore. I definitely wear just dark blue now.
Yeah.
I have Goodyear shoes now.
Yeah, you do now.
I bought shoes from a tire company.
He did.
They're great. I love them.
But also, now Jared went from a light blue, or like a regular blue with the DC logo,
like royal blue,
and then now he has a more of a navy blue,
a midnight green, blue, whatever Chevrolet jacket. It's just got a little Chevy logo on the left breast, and then a big one on the back.
Yeah, and then you also have that nice black jacket. I really like.
The leather one. Yeah, the leather Levi's one.
I took a photo of you wearing that jacket with your hat
and then leaning up against my car.
Leaning up against your car.
It's the only time I've ever looked attractive in anything.
I swear to you, like I looked at the photo yesterday. That's how I remember it. Because I met a few people and I was showing them some of the photos I've taken. Mm-hmm. And I was going through Instagram and I just zoomed in on that and I'm just looking at it and I'm just like, wow. With those attractive looks, that's how you won over Savannah, right?
Oh yeah.
So I'm made fun of because I either try to get the girls or I have a girl and it's fun to make fun of. But for one time in my life that I don't have a crush on anybody, I find out Jared gets a girlfriend. So last week I talked about how I went to camp for I think I did for the first week of summer camp or first
band camp.
For band camp. I was gone because I was at a summer camp, and I come back only to find out about 3 days later that Jared has a girlfriend.
You have no many people. Whoa, you have no idea how many people I surprised because I did like super under the radar.
You did.
It was great.
I literally they were dating, and I was sitting there like they would be a cute couple because I didn't know because he didn't tell me even though it was so blatantly obvious.
Oh, it was so obvious.
He slipped up with so many little comments, and I just didn't catch him.
That's because you're dumb.
I'm not dumb.
Yeah, you are.
But yeah, I think it was so. I have a Sarah Haha. I still have no idea how to pronounce it.
I always just say Sahara, but I looked at how it's spelled again, and that's not what it is.
Yeah, it literally looks like it's spelled Sarah Haha. And I think Savannah said talk about her. So
there you go.
There you go. Are you happy now, Savannah? So there's a couple other. I was gonna go through.
No new messages. I gotta fill the dead air.
Okay.
Dead air.
So on there I have criticism against the school system. So what things do you not like about the school system, James?
Too long, too early.
I think. Okay.
I think it's just too early. I'd love for it to be set back like an hour from what it is.
But the reason they do that is because so many people have jobs now. Like this is the time that you get jobs, and then this is also the time that you have so many after-school activities.
Don't do so much stuff.
Well, I mean, I don't do so much stuff, but that's
I don't. Okay. You know what? I'm not even going to complain about the school system. I'm going to complain about the people in it. Why do people feel the need
sign up for
to sign up for 10 different sports, 13 different clubs, and then take all AP classes? And they're like, oh my God, I'm so stressed out. And it's like, you did this to yourself. Nice job. I hate it. I'm in one AP class and I do one extracurricular thing.
This year I'm not even taking an AP class. But I'm taking a little, like, I'm taking sort of hard classes, but not really.
Oh my God, who sent the paragraph?
So here's a question. I'm gonna read it out. Here's a question for you. What are a couple of your favorite songs and why? Not just they sound cool to me or I like this band / singer. Think deeper than that. Maybe it's connected to or sparks a memory. Maybe you like it when you use a certain. Maybe
Hold
you.
on, let me read it.
I can't read so well.
Think deeper than that. Maybe it's connected to or sparks a memory. Maybe you like the use of a certain instrument. Maybe it's nostalgic. Maybe it sets a certain mood you like. I don't care what you say. Just make it deep and genuine. And keep up the good work. Hyped to see who you ask as guests on the podcast. Why, thank you, kind listener.
Oh, wait, before that.
Oh, okay. Hold that question.
Someone said on the Sarah, haha, you should have Jared on the podcast. Who said that?
It was me. Okay.
Okay, so
what are a couple of your favorite songs?
I have as soon as I read that I picked one out immediately. So one of my favorite bands, like of actual bands that people would know, is called Bastille.
Mm-hmm.
And their type of music just brings out so much emotion, like in their words that
it's kind of like a ballad on steroids, kind of.
Ballad.
A ballad.
I mean,
it's like a very emotional sort of singing way.
Yeah, and it's such a cool, like the way they sound is awesome.
Hey, they said don't say because they sound cool.
But they do sound cool. Anyway, one of their songs is called Flaws, and it's absolutely one of my favorite songs because one of the lyrics in it is you wear your flaws upon your sleeves while I bury them deep, but while I bury them deep beneath the ground, dig them up, and basically it's saying how like this person is looking up to someone else that like sees their flaws and is okay with them and expresses them as who they are and accepts them for who they are.
Mm-hmm.
And how the person singing is like, I don't necessarily accept my flaws and I am burying them deep, but I'm trying to get better at that. And that sort of tie is kind of how I'm feeling, because I have a lot of flaws and I don't like accepting them, but I've slowly started to like be okay with the way I am and sort of thing, and accepting myself and being happy with the way I am. So yeah, that song really, really means a lot to me.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I guess Okay, so you know how I went to the Catfish and the Bottlemen and the Green Day concert last Monday?
Yeah, it was last Monday.
Since then, I've been listening to a lot of Catfish and the Bottlemen, and they're good. And that I get like, okay, I don't necessarily have like favorite songs like forever. My music taste like cycles repeatedly, and it'll switch from like, I used to be big into like really fast paced sort of rocky songs, and then I got like kind of slower, and then I got faster again, and now I'm back in like, I like the slower songs again.
Yeah, they're both right now. Continue.
I don't really have a favorite song at the moment because I've cycled through.
Is there a song that you're always happy when it comes on?
I guess like the one song or the couple songs that have always stayed sort of constant on my Spotify playlist have been like, I like Pumped Up Kicks by Foster the People.
That's such a good song.
I love that song. It's got a horrible meaning to it, but I love it.
All the other kids with their pumped up kids better run faster than my bullet.
Yeah.
And it's talking about school shootings.
Well, I guess because the lyrics are like that. I'm pretty sure I saw somewhere where it wasn't, but it was probably made up. Another one that's always on there is House of the Rising Sun by the Animals. I don't know why, I just like the guitar riff at the beginning. And it was also in the trailer for Mafia 3, which they made it work really well. They like timed everything nice. And then In the Air Tonight by Phil Collins.
That is a good song.
The only reason that's always on there is because it's in the best car commercial of all time, which is
I feel like you should know this one.
The Dodge Predators commercial. It's all about like the Hellcats with the Challenger and the Charger Hellcat, and then the Viper, and they're just like doing a Miami Vice type thing, where it's supposed to be kind of 80s-esque, and it's just like a badass commercial.
Actually, now that you mentioned like having a song in a trailer, do you know the movie Logan, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Hurt with Johnny Cash?
Yeah, Hurt by Johnny Cash. That is such a emotionally, like, it's not a really roller coaster, but it like brings out the emotions in you when you're listening to it, if you actually listen to it and not just have it in the background. And it's such a good song that, like, with the way it does that. I actually have a question. What is on your hand?
Oh, that's the, okay, so I went to that junkyard, right?
Yeah.
And to go in, you gotta pay $2. And they stamp your hand. It should say 111.
It looks like it almost says
but
lit.
It just kind of died.
Sweat?
Yeah. I'm sorry if I disappointed whoever asked that question with my answer, but there's like no really favorite song that I have. I'm gonna
go through after I ask this question, but like go through my Sarah haha again. After I ask this question. So I every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday I ask a question, or I say a fact or a cool story that I've learned on my Snapchat at Henry Hikes.
There's not really an at, but it's Henry Hikes.
Yeah, it's Henry Hikes. But a lot of people have found them interesting. Well, one of the things I was listening to, it was about caterpillars becoming butterflies, and so basically what it is like the scientists took a caterpillar and made, every time they had this caterpillar smell a certain scent, they would shock it with a little bit of electricity. So once it became a chrysalis, and when it's a chrysalis, it just turns to goop, and then it just reforms into a butterfly. But so they took that butterfly once it became a butterfly, and they gave it that scent, and it instantly backed off. It hated that smell. But that was actually not the point I wanted. But besides the fact that it turns to goop, a caterpillar has its wings in its back already.
It's got all the butterfly bits.
It has, yeah, and so when it turns into a chrysalis, those just go to the side as the rest goes to mush. But basically, it's like the wings are in there, and they're like paper thin, and they're like almost transparent, so you can't actually see them. And the question that the podcast I listened to is Radiolab. I mentioned this last week. But they asked the question of what things are in your future, like what things of your future self are already in you, kind of like how that caterpillar already has wings even though it's a caterpillar. And that was a really deep question because it's something that you would never expect you to have, but you do, and you just haven't discovered it yet. Have you ever had a situation like that where you just realized that you have something that you've never realized that you did before?
I don't know. I'm trying to think.
I know it because it's such a hard thing, because you look at a caterpillar, you look at a butterfly, they look totally different.
I mean, a butterfly is like a caterpillar with wings, and a caterpillar, they're just both sort of cylinders.
But they look like the body's different, the nose, all that. But one thing for me is when I was growing up, my dad has tremors and he shakes a lot, and then my mom just is it just can't take photos well for some awful reason. Probably her eyesight for one, like because she has bad eyesight. But I was always stuck taking photos, and I hated it. But I guess I learned the skill, sort of, like somewhat, and. Like, then we stopped going on, like, we do that every vacation, and then we stopped going on vacation for a while, and I started watching this one YouTuber, and he was a photographer, and he was just talking about photography, and it just sparked, and I just knew photography and film is what I wanted to do, like, almost instantly, and ever since then, I've been on that path. Anything like that?
Not really. I mean... I'm not really good at much, if you think about it. I'm just I'm okay at a lot of things, but I'm not good at one particular thing. I guess my my caterpillar wings are still a little bit too thin for me to be able to see.
And it was such an interesting question, because it was something that you'll never know you have until you do.
Until it shows up one day, yeah.
And then you'll be like, whoa. But yeah, think about that philosophical question.
You should put your answer in the comments. That'd be cool.
That would be cool if anybody would actually comment. Actually, on the last podcast, I had it where I said, if you actually watch this all the way through, put the word BlackBerry in the comments. No one said anything. I'm like, well, I guess no one actually watched all the way through.
I don't want to watch 45 minutes of just you talking.
It wasn't...
You're boring.
I wasn't watching. It was interesting. I talked about some things.
Some things.
I actually went through it because there was a lot of deep things that some people said on here that I talked about on Sarah Haha. You should have... Oh, I already read that.
Yep.
Talk about origin of shit, high school, social dynamics, or some next level type shit from Taylor. Taylor...
What is that supposed to mean?
We already did that pretty much. We talked about, well, not high school, but like how we met and how like the shit we went through.
I hate you.
I love you too. You are the weirdest yet simultaneously most awesome people I know. That was probably said when I...
Pickle Rick.
Pickle Rick! That's
Here,
do you watch that?
No, I have something along the lines of, you're the weirdest yet most awesome person I know. You're simultaneously the most annoying person I know, and I hate you so much, but I can't stop being your friend.
The way our friendship, I just don't understand it. Because it involves us being super close, but at the same time...
I hate you.
Absolutely shitting on each other. Someone said, Dad.
Dad.
Like the podcast. You're a good man. Keep up the hype. Like your facts make me happy. Drink more Ovaltine. Eat
Ovaltine.
Ovaltine. What is Ovaltine?
Some miracle snake oil thing from the 50s.
And then
I'm sure.
Eat your veggies. Okay. How do you play Overwatch with a mouse?
You WASD with your left hand. You put your mouse in your right hand, and you click to go boom. Space is jump.
Yeah, that's it. I was thinking League of Legends for a second. I'm like, you don't use WASD.
Dead air.
Your moves are weak, bro. You aren't fam anymore.
Your moves are weak, bro. You aren't fam anymore.
I don't even remember.
I hate millennials.
I don't even remember saying, like... Oh, is that how far it goes?
Ah, that's sad.
What? Does it actually do that?
Does it delete things?
I guess.
Whoops. Oh well. Huh, dead air. What the hell is that supposed to mean? Your moves are weak, bro. You aren't fam anymore.
I don't know.
I guess they're not your friend anymore?
I guess.
Your moves are weak, bro. I'm not your fam anymore.
Am I not good at dancing? I don't know.
Who knows? I mean, you're not good at dancing.
I'm good at
I'm not
dancing.
good at dancing.
You're not good at dancing. Oh, I remember. Okay, this was sophomore year for us. I went to homecoming dance with this girl. It was my first girlfriend at the time.
Anyway,
I'll just leave it at that. Anyway, I did have a great time, but but Jared was also there, and Jared, for once, this was like one of the first time I've ever looked at Jared and be like, that is
atrocious.
That is a good-looking dude.
Oh, when I was wearing like my blue
long sleeve dress shirt. It was like a dark navy blue long sleeve dress shirt. It was a
a black vest.
Black vest
with a blue sort of stripy tie.
Was it a blue?
And then black pants, yeah.
But it just worked for him so well. Like it was.
You have no idea how much I want to like
dress up
a little bit more than I do, but I just don't, because this is so much easier to just wear a t-shirt.
Why do you think I always go t-shirt and athletic short? Is because like I would love a job.
Like if I could wear like a blazer and jeans all the time, that'd be cool.
That would be awesome. But I would have to live in a place where I could actually
pull it off,
survive, because of the way I sweat. Like I'm sweating profusely right now, or we're in a room temperature room talking.
It's because I'm in here.
Oh, okay, that's true. But it was partly because you actually were happy that day, but also you just worked so good in blue. Like, okay, 8th grade, it was me, Anthony, August, and Jared. So we all had different jackets. You
had black.
I still have that jacket and I still wear it.
It's right there. Okay.
I'm surprised I can still wear it.
Henry always wore black. August always wore red. Anthony wore like red plaid, and then
it was red and black plaid.
I had my blue DC jacket, and then we all were like, "Oh, let's switch jackets for a little bit." So I put on August's red one,
and me, August, and Anthony
they immediately all cringed.
We're like, take it off now. Like
you don't work in red.
You just don't work in red. But you worked well in my jacket. You look good in black, and you still do. Because of now that I've seen you like with a good looking black jacket. Mm-hmm. He works in black, and he really works in like a deep blue. Like that's your best color, I would have to say. That white and black, like a combination of those three would always work. For August, it's always been red.
It's always red.
Although
he wears gray now, and he looks pretty good in it.
Yeah, he does look good in gray. For me, I've actually been wearing a lot more light blue. I don't know if you noticed, like my.
Well, it's because you're This Is the Life shirt. You're
Rick and Morty, then the Optimus Prime.
Yeah.
Those 3 shirts, but I really like the way I look with those. But also one of my favorite things is. Like, I like the look of a plain white t-shirt with black shorts. That's actually my Bitmoji outfit. But during band camp, I actually did that, where I was just wearing my plain black shorts and a white t-shirt. Mm-hmm. And I feel like because it's just such a normal and simple look. And then I also now have a fully black hat that it's dirty, and I have to wash it now that I think about it. But fully black. So it's a simple black and white. Because I remember back when I was in 8th, back in middle school, I always wore black, like, all the time.
Yeah.
I was never goth. I just my best clothes were black and dark gray. And then Anthony just looks good in anything, like, more country-wise.
Yeah, that's because he's a southern boy.
Yeah,
although he's from Missouri.
Yeah, he always wears cowboy boots. He always wears jeans.
Well, he doesn't wear cowboy boots all the time. He always wears like work boots.
Yeah, work boots or cowboy boots. He always wears jeans, and he looks really good in a plaid shirt.
Yeah.
And his jacket that we were trying to round was that. I actually looked good in that. I think out of all 4 of them, besides my regular black jacket, I looked best with the plaid, because probably because it had the black in it.
Probably.
Because I didn't look good in yours, and I didn't look good in August. Which one did August look good in?
Probably mine, I think.
I think so. He works with other colors, but for you, it's just blue.
Yeah.
You don't work good in red at all.
I mean, yeah.
Okay, so we've been going for an hour and 3 minutes at the moment. Is there anything else you would like to talk about?
We turned into a fashion podcast for a while.
We did for a while, but it was interesting.
I love the way that your pants work with your shoes.
Jared, I'm not wearing shoes.
Stop talking.
Anyway, yeah, so that's my Lowlife Podcast. This is Jared.
Hello, yes, follow me on Twitter.
I will have his Twitter tag linked below.
Only if you want to see tweets about dumb things like NASCAR
and retweets and saying like
retweets.
I entered in this competition for a car or something like that.
Yay.
But it's at Jared88485.
Yep.
That's his Instagram.
Everything.
That's your Twitter.
Snapchat. That's my what else is that?
Minecraft.
that is my Minecraft.
Isn't it just? Is there Steam still at Jared845? Because
the username.
The original one is right.
Yeah, my username on Steam right now is still Papa John.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Mine's been. I switched mine to Karn, and it's been like that for a while. And then yeah, you can follow me on at Henry Hikes on Instagram, Twitter, and
Snapchat.
That's Henry and then Hikes because everybody always thinks it's Heights for some reason.
Henry Heights.
They're like Hikes. Oh, how do you spell that? Hikes.
That's a weird way to spell Heights.
Yeah, they'll actually say that. But yeah, this is my Lowlife Podcast. Thanks for listening, and I will see you guys next week with probably a different guest.
Okay. Goodbye.
Bye.